Hello, comrades, and welcome back to Ushanka Show. Здравствуйте, дорогие товарищи. My name is Sergey, and I was born in the USSR.
Вы смотрите программу Ushanka Show.
Just a friendly reminder that my book American Diaries is available on Amazon.com, or shoot me an email if you would like to have a signed copy. Thank you. So today we're going to take a look at another unclassified document from the KGB archives in Ukraine. This one was unclassified in 2013, and it says on the top, "Netaemno," not secret, but it used to be "совершенно секретно," so that's close to like top secret. Great, and it's dating back to 1935. Warning: the events described in this report are quite horrible and graphic, so I'm just warning you that you may not want to watch this video till the end. So this document, which they call it специальное сообщение, special communique, special message, was signed by Zinovy Katznelson. He was the second in command of Ukrainian NKVD. So this before KGB, they call it NKVD, Commissariat внутренних дел, so Commissariat of the Inner Business or something like that. So внутренние дела. So this document dated from August of 1935, and Zinovy Katznelson, he's a quite an interesting character. So at that time he was second in command in NKVD of Ukraine. Prior to that, he had a bunch of other important positions, and I will post the link below this video for all the guys that are involved in this report. But Comrade Katznelson, he was kind of like this old guard, one of those communists and Bolsheviks that were wiped out later by Stalin. So after his position of NKVD of Ukraine, he actually moved to Moscow in 1937, 2 years later. He was second in command of Gulag system. So Gulag is the state management of camps. It's a государственное управление of camps, pretty much you can translate it. State management of camps, Gulag. He was second in command in 1937. A year later, in March of 1938, he was shot, and once again he was a Trotskyist or some anti-Soviet propaganda or whatever for different reasons, but he got eliminated in 1938. But now we're talking it's events of 1935. So this top secret report was sent to Central Committee of Communist Party of Ukraine, to comrades Stanislav Kasior. Stanislav Kasior was another quite interesting comrade. He was Polish by his nationality, but he was in charge of Ukraine, as you see. He was running collectivization in Ukraine in early 30s, so he was somewhat responsible for so-called Golodomor in Ukraine in 1932 till 1933, when there's a wild difference in estimates. So between 2 to 8 million Ukrainians and Russian peasants perished in Ukraine during collectivization. So in 1935, he's still top dog on Communist Party of Ukraine. But in 1938, he will be arrested and shot a year later, in 1939, for Polish participating in Polish counter-revolution terrorist organization. So because he was Polish, that's what brought against him. He was secret member or leader of the Polish counter-revolution organization in Ukraine, and he got shot in 1939. The second person this document addressed to is Pavel Postyshev. So he was also a top leader of the Central Committee of Communist Party of Ukraine. And he later got arrested in 1938, surprise, surprise. So just 3 years from now, he also will get in trouble. And at that time, there was so-called struggle against nationalist deviation. I hope I said the word correctly. So when you deviate from the course, so Comrade Stalin had concerns that Ukrainian communists are becoming too nationalist. So they purged the whole Communist Party of Ukraine. Around 100,000 members of Communist Party of Ukraine were prosecuted. One of them was Pavel Postashev. And it's kind of an irony that he was always fighting Trotsky's movement hardcore, like he was anti-Trotsky person. And when he got arrested in 1938, he got accused of being a Trotskyist, and he got shot a year later in 1939, just like his friend Stanislav Kosior. Kind of interesting, almost cute detail about Pavel Postashev. He was the guy who came up with the idea to celebrate New Year in the Soviet Union instead of Christmas, because Christmas was a religious holiday. So he actually wrote the letter and kind of introduced this idea, how about we outlaw celebrating Christmas and we'll start celebrating New Year. And he came up with the idea in the same year as this document, in 1935. Okay, so after this super long and boring introduction, now let's dig into this document. What was this super secret information that was sent to the leaders of the Communist Party of Ukraine? So this report describes events happened in a Ukrainian town of Krivorozhye. Several workers from the local brick factory were walking by the cemetery, and they noticed two men that were tossing children's bodies into the grave. And the scary part that they specified, those bodies were badly damaged by rats. So workers actually went on there and they grabbed these unknown people, and it turned out that they were watchmen of the local Детский дом. So this is like orphanage house where they keep abandoned kids. So local militia and NKVD maybe got involved, and this is what they found out. So two children died in the local foster home. One was 14 days old and one was 3.5 months old, so babies. A caregiver who was on duty that night, Comrade Ginsburg, didn't let anyone know about it and just tossed the bodies into the cellar. And in the morning she offered the watchmen, Garsyuta and Raganov, to take bodies to the local cemetery and bury it there. And by the morning, bodies were badly damaged by rats. Further investigation revealed they started questioning workers of that foster home, and they discovered that such cases happened earlier, that in July of the same year, the same way they buried 18 children of the different ages. Usually doctors never inspected dead children, and only after several days they would make some kind of record in their book. They kept some kind of book about children they had in that foster home. So that was all kind of like part of like, yeah, whatever, I have some more children died, not a big deal. A local NKVD office arrested a manager of the foster home, Radzinskaya, so it's a female, then arrested that person on duty, Ginsburg, as well as one of the watchmen, Garsyuta. Second guy managed to escape, and they were looking for him. Then it said they continued their investigation. They recovered children's bodies and sent them for medical evaluation to figure out what happened. So as you see, it's quite a horrifying report, and you can just imagine what was going on in other foster homes all over the country, because we're talking here Ukraine, and Ukraine used to be a breadbasket of the Soviet Union. So definitely have some serious problems. I mean, no one cares about these children. They're just being tossed. The bodies were tossed in a cellar and then quietly buried in a cemetery. No reports filed. Unfortunately, there's no additional documents covering this topic. My guess would be there was still a horrible shortage of food in Ukraine. I won't be surprised if the workers of this foster home were stealing food to feed their own families. So these young children were underfed. In case, babies, maybe there were cases when young mothers would just, drop off the baby on the steps of this foster home, and they had no milk and no food to provide, so they just let children die. Because it sounded like it was a normal occurrence just to send watchmen with the dead bodies to the local cemetery, just toss them in the grave, cover it up, and no one knows about it. So for all those tankies out there, this is 1935, the great era of building socialism in the Soviet Union. Soviet government was spending millions building new tank factories and stuff like that. And here we have children dying, being eaten by rats, and quietly buried in the local cemeteries. Alright, on this somber note, we're gonna finish this video. I hope you guys learned something new. As always, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and we'll talk to you soon. До свидания. Goodbye. Hey, by the way, cool merch for cool comrades is available at the Ushanka store at teespring.com. And if you love my channel and would like to show your support, please click on the link below this video and become the patron of the Ushanka Show. For as little as $1, you can help us grow and create the new, interesting videos about the life in Soviet